Hello, everybody. I'm Larry.
All right, Larry, it will be the home for NFL football until 2020 as you get a look inside the intimate StubHub Center here in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Chargers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. On second down, Trubisky. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A nice pick up there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. Found his target, it's Anderson. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
That's what they were aiming for. You want to keep moving the sticks, get into a rhythm, gain confidence as you go along. And right now, mission accomplished.
Let's go.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. That's caught right side by Anderson. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A very solid gain of 27. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
The numbers for Diggs from a week ago. 7 catches, 129 yards.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
Trubisky to throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually...
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. First down, Rivers. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jarrell Casey in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Stephon Diggs, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 59 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays. When he decided to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he right.
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. This will be caught at about the 6. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Second down, Rivers. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. And now it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Third and goal for Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be.
And it's a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now Gordon on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
For the sideline, that's taken in by Allen. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And Forbath will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky, and he's got it over the middle. Flainer, a fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Robbie Anderson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ingram. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. On is the Chargers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the...
He's got a man complete. 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Robbie Anderson with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And it's complete to Ladarius Green. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Going underneath for Gordon. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To the air again here, Rivers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 3rd down, Rivers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Forbath will put this one through, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Play action. It's Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Houston. Stephon Diggs as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visit. Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the third quarter. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
The first down throw here for Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. Rivers on 1st down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. They'll throw again. Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. The Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with Allen.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it didn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Jarrell Casey in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And Forbath will put this one through, and they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to nail that down.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. They almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So out come the Chargers. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, You need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Play action now. Rivers. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Rivers, and this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And taken right on the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They go play action here on first down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Texans add on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the...
Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This is taken around the 12. A great return there of 22 yards. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Shaquille Barrett. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Corey Legion in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. To throw again. Rivers looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That's complete. It's Gordon. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Rivers again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Rivers now on second down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Precision, precision, precision. That's the definition of it right there. Great pass, great catch for the score.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise and you're not accurate, the arm strength really doesn't matter. We saw a little bit of everything with that throw.
Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Again, it's Foreman. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll run with Foreman. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking.